Joe Rogan is not your ally. In the era of Joe Rogan and Donald Trump, do not forget the real fight is between people with capital and those without. Joe Rogan and Donald Trump are both successfully taking other people's money and living better. Joe Rogan pals Elon Musk and Jordan Peterson. Their lives are enhanced by this system. Do you think these people are going to acknowledge this as a systemic problem? Or do you think they're going to distract you from the real problem? They'll tell you it's all about freedom. But what they mean is their freedom to continue to acquire capital at the expense of you. Joe Rogan is not your pal. He preaches critical thinking. But the motherfucker makes so much money distracting what is worthwhile for the working class to think about. Editing for common themes in responses. Comment 1. What does this have to do with anti-work? Response. Work generates capital. The people with capital control the narrative. They own the mainstream media. They own Joe Rogan's platform. Example on how Rogan enables a work culture. Does Rogan discuss with Musk how he's famously anti-union? No. They smoke pot to distract. Comment 2. This is divisive. Response. The point is to help people understand that the battle isn't Dems versus Repubs or Joe Rogan versus the mainstream media or Trump versus Biden. It's people with capital versus people without. Everything else is a distraction. All of the above entities have capital and don't do anything to help the working class. They leverage it. Comment 3. I love Joe, so who cares? Response. That's great. He's not your ally. His ally is Fuddruckers. Who the fuck thinks Trump is a working class icon? He's literally known for screwing over tradesmen. Reddit, their owners, and their admins, are not our ally either. Who thought Joe Rogan was their ally? Joe Rogan is Gwyneth Paltrow for bros. The true battle is not boomers versus millennials. There are plenty of poverty class boomers and wealthy millennials. The true battle is a class battle. Don't get distracted. Don't make excuses for those who have hoarded millions. Lol, this is divisive. Can't we all get along with the capitalists and the libertarians? Quote. No. Motherfucker. We can't. And you're a plant. Good post. Op. Joe Rogan was the host of Fear Factor and The Ultimate Fighter. This hardly makes him an expert on anything. Trump is an impressive con man. Jordan Peterson is quite ill. The only leader in your life should be you. Imagine believing anything Joe Rogan says. Joe Rogan is an intellectual for idiots. His podcast isn't about critical thinking. It's teaching you critical dumbing down that lessens your ability to think intelligently about a topic. Like a famous musician or actor. Rogan is paid for his labor. I am not crazy about the massive income our society directs to certain kinds of media labor. Nevertheless, Rogan does not derive his income from ownership of capital. And although he is rich compared to other workers, he is not rich compared to actual capitalists. Joe, think critically, just not about me. Rogan is an assbutt. I think some of the discussions are interesting, but I wouldn't say I'm aligned with Rogan nor a fan of his personal politics nor philosophies. I listen to a lot of different figures. I am specifically interested in politics and philosophy. So I enjoy listening to people talk about ideas regardless if I agree with them. I don't think Rogan is an ally. But I wouldn't put down people for listening simply for entertainment. Not everyone is going to be heavily influencing by listening to someone's discussions once in a while, assuming the listener has critical thinking. I am trying to not use ableist slurs, so I don't have much else to say about Joe Rogan. But I will leave a story. Joe Rogan has been expert on show. Bee expert. Bees make honey. Joe. No. Bees are yellow. Bee expert. Okay. But they do make honey. Joe. Jamie. Google this. Are bees yellow? Jamie. Bees are yellow and make honey. Joe. Wow, that's fucked up. I was right. He preaches critical thinking. Being a contrarian edgelord does not constitute critical thinking. How people interpret and act based on what Joe says it entirely up to them. From your stance. Anyone who becomes successful and rich is part of the problem. That simply isn't true, as being successful doesn't mean you qualify to be part of a systemic problem. All that thought process achieves is self-victimization and a sense that everyone else is always the other guy. Some people are assholes and have an agenda. Some don't. Don't tar everyone with the same brush just because they're in a different position to yourself. I had to bite my tongue and help keep the peace. Sad. Just because someone is rich doesn't mean they can't be your ally. I'm pretty sure Bernie Sanders has some money too. You going to throw Bernie Sanders under the bus too? Anti-work showing its true colors yet again. A crypto-communist group trying to trick hard done by working class people into joining the communist cult. Who is our ally? What does this have to do with anti-work? The problem with thinking this way, as far as I can tell, is that anyone, regardless of background, can make the choices that led to having a podcast on the scale of Rogan. He was just the first to do it. By this logic, anyone at a certain level of success doing something they are passionate about becomes an enemy of the working class. This line of thought is the image of the dragon eating its own tail in verbal form.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.